Hey, Ronnie here from Four Wheeling in Western Australia. In this video, I'm going to give you 6 different ways or options of how to improve your skills for off-roading and four-wheel driving. Now, this is great for first-timers, beginners who want to learn more and take it to the next level, and for those experienced who just want to learn a couple more things. With these 6 options and 6 ways of you improving your skills and knowledge in four-wheeling and four-wheel driving, some of these options may not be available to you depending on where you are in the world and the situation that you might be in. So, I'm going to cover them all briefly and tell you all the pros and cons, and everything here is pretty much just my opinion from my experience, and let's get straight into it in no particular order. We'll start with option number 1. Now this one is pretty obvious to most people. If you have a good mate or a buddy or a friend that you can go four-wheeling with, someone who's got a bit of experience, then you could probably learn a great deal if you're a first-timer. If you're a beginner and you've only been doing it for a little bit and you have a buddy who's been doing it for a little bit as well, you're both going to learn off each other. So that is probably one of the best ways to do it. And then there's of course the very experienced buddy who takes you out. So we'll start with the pros. Obviously it's going to cost you nothing, and it's way more hands-on. You know the person well, and you're more than likely going to be camping and stuff, so you're going to be learning more than just four-wheeling. You're going to be learning about camping and what works better for your vehicle and what works better in your camping situation, and you're going to get ideas of your mates' vehicles and whatnot. There's some really good pros there, but there are some cons as well. Then the cons are, well look, it's only really a con if you don't have much experience at all and you're learning everything from this person. He may have some bad habits which he'll pass on to you. The biggest concern will be if he's very experienced and he wants to take you out onto a trail or a track just completely out of your depth. This happens quite often actually. And the reason why this happens is because they have another 4 or 5 buddies with rigs set up for a tough trail, and then the unfortunate beginner who just wants to get out there has no idea what he's going to get himself in for, and sometimes the people that take him out don't really consider that until it's too late. So something to consider there, but mainly it's pros there. Option number 2, four-wheel drive training. So this is basically a place you go to or a company you seek out, and they are trained and qualified to teach you the art of four-wheel driving. Basically they have all the credentials. A lot of these are done on closed circuits. Half of it is generally theory, and then there's a little bit of hands-on and practicality. So the first pro is obviously these are professionals training you. So you are going to learn the guidelines within your state or territory or country, wherever you are. Whatever guidelines they have in place there, that is what they're going to teach you. Another pro is you're going to learn the correct and safe way how to recover your vehicle or another person's vehicle, and you're going to learn how to drive on different terrains, which is the best line to pick when you come up to a rutted section, and all that important stuff you need to know for off-roading. And now to the cons. Well, a lot of these four-wheel drive training companies, they take a lot of students in, right? Well, that's how they make their money. So the more people, the more money. Now when it comes to the theory, that's no problem at all. Everyone's going to see the same screen, everyone's going to have the same piece of paper, everyone's going to learn the same thing. But when it comes to practicality and hands-on training, when you have a big group of people like that and you only have 2 to 3 assessors or trainers, you're not going to get hands-on to every single student. It is impossible within the time limit they have. So usually you'll find that 2 people or 4 people may perform a recovery. They'll be hands-on, using the shackles, using the straps and all that stuff. And the rest of the students will just be standing there watching. And then when the next activity comes, they'll be swapping over. Now this isn't for every single four-wheel drive training place. Some places do take people out in their own cars. And just bear in mind, if there is a big group of people, you are going to still learn a lot, but you're not going to get the proper hands-on, in my opinion. Option number 3, four-wheel drive tag-along tours. Now what is a four-wheel drive tag-along tour? Well, you have a lead guide, brings his vehicle, places at the front of the convoy, and then you bring your vehicle and you become part of the 5 to 10 car convoy. The lead guide will then take you around the bush, show you all the points of interest, help you out should there be any problems, and guide you along the way. So before we get into the pros, I will have a biased opinion on this subject with four-wheel drive tag-along tours because I do conduct and run tours myself. So just take this with a grain of salt. The pros. The main one is you get to have an adventure while you learn and gain confidence and feel part of a group. When you're in a convoy, you are part of a group and everyone in that convoy works together. So that is the main bonus or pro for tag along tours. Then you have other things like you don't just learn about four driving, you will also learn about camping. Because if you go on a camping trip, you're going to see what other people use, you're going to see what the lead guide uses, and you're going to get so many ideas. And now we'll look at the cons. And like I said, I have a biased opinion on this. So cons, I've found very hard to find them. Con is, well, obviously it costs money, nothing's for free. Number 4, four-wheel drive clubs. We have two different types of clubs here. You have the legit ones, which we're going to talk about now, and then you have the non-legit ones, which we'll talk about after. So what is a legit four-wheel drive club? Well, here in Australia, and particularly in Western Australia, we have what's called a Four-Wheel Drive Association of Western Australia. And there is a Four-Wheel Drive Association for every single state. They have certain guidelines. They require clubs to have certain credentials. And when these clubs apply for this, they've got to go through a lot of hoops to get there. The people that run the club have all the credentials and they have a president, they have a financial person and all that stuff. That is what a legit four-wheel drive club is. And I'm sure other places around the world, you'll have the same thing, especially the States. But anyway, let's get into the pros. So the pros are, well, it is a legit club. The club will follow guidelines. More than likely not going to be doing anything wrong in a wrong area or anything like that. You are part of a tight-knit community. So some clubs are vehicle-based, some clubs are just non-vehicle-based. So the vehicle-based clubs, you're part of a tight-knit community, everyone who's into the same thing and are driving the same vehicle as you. So you're going to gain a lot of tips and tricks and skills and whatnot from these people. It is a great thing to be part of. And the ones that are just four-wheel drive based, doesn't matter what vehicle you have, well, they're just as good as well. When you're on these trips, because they have guidelines to follow, the guidelines are very, very similar, if not exactly the same as what a four-wheel drive tour guide operator has to comply with. Now on to cons. Some clubs require you to attend most of the meetings or a good amount of meetings to be able to apply to go on the trips that they organise. Fly and float worker, you're self-employed, you may miss a few, you may not be able to get to many of them at all, which then means you don't apply to go on any trips. Option number 5, non-legit four-wheel drive clubs, or in other words, a four-wheel drive group. So these are people that have started pages on, say, Facebook or a forum. These can be vehicle-based, these can be non-vehicle-based, they can just be like four-wheel drive specifically based. And there are a lot of benefits to these pages. So groups, the pros, it's not hard to join any, you can join many, they usually all let you in. And if you join a vehicle-based, well, you can find a world of information. All you gotta do is ask a question and more than likely you're gonna get 5 to 10 people commenting. Another good thing is you can just organise with other people, go out on a day trip with 1 or 2 other cars, or you can go out for their group events. You get a lot of options, and like I said, you can join a lot of different pages. Well, you get to meet a lot of people. Now to the cons. I suppose the main con is because they're not governed by the Four-Wheel Drive Association, there's no control on them. There's no control on how many numbers they take out, and there is no insurance. And the people that run the trips may not have credentials. If there is a recovery taking place, they may not know how to correctly do it or safely do it. So if you're joining a group and you're heading out with someone, just be aware of those things. And then finally, there is option number 6. And option number 6 should be used with all the other 5. It is do it yourself. Research four-wheel driving. You can look at YouTube videos like mine or other people's. You can look at our website or other people's websites, and you're going to pick up bits and bobs from all these places and you're going to gain more knowledge. Now, of course, this isn't hands-on, but that's why I'm saying use it with the other options you have. But also part of option 6 is get out there yourself. None of the others are available for you. Well, how else are you going to do it? Arm yourself with the information in your head and then get out there. There's also books you can buy. If I buy a new book or a book I haven't seen before, I will learn something from that book. I don't know everything. And people that have been full driving for 50 or 60 years don't know everything. And if anyone says they know everything, well, they probably don't know crap. So everyone learns something new every day. Just keep asking the questions. I'll keep making videos for you. Load yourself up with all the information and get out there and have some fun. Thank you very much to my patrons on Patreon for assisting in making this video. If you'd like to be part of this, you can go to patreon.com/Ronnie Dahl. please do subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.